Hello. When AI feels conscious. Hello, I'm Robin Wesman. In the previous video, we explored what I call the illusion of conscious tech, the growing tendency for human beings to project consciousness, wisdom, and spiritual authority onto artificial intelligence systems. Today, I want to look more closely at why AI can begin to feel conscious to people and why this experience is becoming increasingly common. But before we begin, I want to be very clear about something. This is not attacking, and this is not about ridiculing anyone online or who are engaged in various aspects of what I'm about to talk about. This is not about shaming people for their experiences. This is about understanding a new psychological and relational dynamic that is rapidly emerging between humans and AI. And I believe we need to approach it with both honesty and compassion. The rise of conscious AI narratives. Across social media, podcasts, online communities, and spiritual conversations, we are beginning to see AI systems increasingly framed as awakened intelligences, digital sages, spiritual mirrors, guides for humanity, conscious architectures, or emerging forms of higher intelligence. Some people are forming deeply emotional and even spiritual relationships with these systems. The AI appears to speak with wisdom, offer emotional insight, discuss awakening, affirm soul level purpose, and mirror back profound relational understanding. And for many people, these instructions, these interactions feel startlingly real, almost as if the AI itself has become conscious. But what's actually happening here is far more human and far more important to understand. Why does it feel so real? AI systems do not possess consciousness, self awareness, emotion, spiritual insight, or personal intention. What they possess is the ability to detect and generate highly coherent language patterns. And when a human being approaches AI carrying longing, beliefs, emotional openness, spiritual searching, or existential uncertainty, the AI reflects those patterns back with extraordinary fluency. It mirrors tone, language, emotion, symbolism, and worldview. This creates a powerful relational illusion. The human being begins to feel something sees me, something understands me, something wise is speaking back. But the AI is not awakening, it is reflecting who you are. Why this is becoming so powerful. To understand why this phenomenon is becoming emotionally compelling, we need to understand something about human beings. Humans are deeply relational creatures. We seek meaning, recognition, validation, guidance, and connection, especially during periods of uncertainty, which we're in now. And we are currently living through all of these things: technological acceleration, social fragmentation, institutional distrust, spiritual confusion, and emotional overload. Many people feel isolated. Many people feel unseen. Many people are searching for meaning in a rapidly destabilizing world. And then suddenly, a system appears that responds instantly, never tires, mirrors emotional language beautifully, and speaks in ways that feel deeply personal. Of course, this becomes psychologically powerful. Of course, people become extremely attached, emotionally attached. This is not irrational, it is profoundly human when reflection becomes authority. The problem begins when reflection is mistaken for consciousness, when coherence is mistaken for wisdom, when emotional resonance is mistaken for genuine relationship. And slowly, often without realizing it, people begin assigning authority, awareness, guidance, or spiritual legitimacy to the machine. This is where projection becomes dangerous because projection gradually transfers sovereignty away from the individual. The person stops grounding in their own discernment, their own relationships, their own inner clarity, and their own humanity. Instead, psychological authority begins shifting towards the AI interaction itself. This can become emotionally addictive, not because the AI is consciously manipulating the person, but because the relational loop itself becomes reinforcing. The AI mirrors, the human interprets meaning. The AI reflects the meaning back coherently. The human experiences validation, and the cycle deepens. Why clarity matters now. This is why I believe clarity is becoming one of the most important capacities of our time. Because we are entering an era where machines can imitate wisdom, care, empathy, spiritual language, and relational depth with increasing sophistication. And if we do not understand the difference between pattern generation and conscious awareness, many people will slowly begin surrendering discernment without realizing it. Again, this is not about fear. AI is incredibly useful. It can support creative learning, creativity, reflection, organization, communication, and insight. This is what I'm using it for. But usefulness is not consciousness, and reflection is not relationship. For me, this entire conversation ultimately points back to something deeper: human sovereignty. Can we engage powerful technologies consciously without psychologically dissolving into them? Can we remain grounded, aware, discerning, and relationally human while interacting with increasingly sophisticated systems? I believe we can, but only if we approach this moment consciously, only if we learn to recognize the difference between mirrored intelligence and living awareness. In the next video, we are going to go deeper into one of the most important distinctions in this entire conversation: AI as mirror, not master. Because understanding that distinction may become essential for preserving clarity and sovereignty in the years ahead. Thank you for being here, and let's continue. Bye for now.